new. I'm here with
Kitty,
Belle, and Chloe. We've got another fun craft for you. Now this one, you may have seen or heard before. It's a kindness rock. Now here is one, and apparently this one, both Kitty and Belle painted parts of this rock for us. So it's meant to look like a globe. Isn't that cute? So the idea of a kindness rock is that we can paint a rock and give it to somebody else or put it someplace that'll make somebody smile. Now you may have heard about this in many different places. There are actually many groups on the internet and certain social media groups that are, the whole group is just about painting rocks and leaving them, and you may find them and you can send them a picture and that kind of stuff, and it's really super cool. And of course you can just give a painted rock to somebody who you think needs a little cheering up, which is fun. So it can be a great service project. Now the thing about kindness rocks is that not every place likes them. So you can hide them outside, but you need to make sure that it's a place that allows that kind of thing. There are certain places, especially parks, nature preserves, wildlife preserves, places like that would consider a painted rock vandalism. Either by, you're looking shocked. Yes, vandalism. So, which you don't want to do. Obviously, vandalism's a no-no. So it seems strange, you can say that, but the idea is that you're putting a non-natural element in what is supposed to be a natural environment. So it's considered bad. So since we don't want to do that, make sure and check before you leave a painted rock any place that it's allowed to leave the painted rock somewhere. So double check before you put your rock out. So, with all that being said, let me show you what you need to do this craft. Our supplies for a painted rock, the first thing we're going to need is, if you got a camp kit and it arrived on time, you're going to need this one. And basically all that is, this is paint. With your paintbrush already included. Now, if you don't have a paint set like this, then you can use acrylic or tempera paint. Now, differences between acrylic and tempera paint. Tempera paint washes off easier than acrylic. And you could say, well, why would you want to do that? Well, the catch is that although tempera paint may wash out, it means it's going to be easier to get out of our clothes, or if we spill it, clean it up. Acrylic paint, but this will wash off your rock. Acrylic paint will stay on your rock if you wash it, but it peels off. So either way, if you're going to put these rocks outside or handle them a lot, your paint is going to come off. So we picked the paint that is easier to clean up, which is our tempera paint. You can use acrylic paint. We've done that before. It works great, but when picking, we picked easier cleanup. So we need our paint and our paintbrush. I know this isn't a super great paintbrush, but we're just trying to not do a whole lot of detail work. If you want to do detail work, then you may need a separate, smaller brush. We're going to need a rock. Now, before we pick out our rock, make sure you get your caregiver's permission. And if you're going to take a rock from someplace else, make sure you have permission of the landowner to take your rock. It may seem kind of simple, but again, it'd be considered not okay to take a rock. It could be considered stealing. So make sure you have permission to take your rock, and then again, make sure you get permission to put it back and it's in a safe area. Let me say that now. Caregiver's permission too. Once you get this rock, you need to wash it off really well. Make sure all the loose dirt is off of it, and then make sure it dries completely. Painting on a wet rock won't work. So, rock already cleaned. You may need to use a toothbrush, old toothbrush, to get that off. Caregiver's permission. Next thing you're going to need, and this, by the way, is from your scavenger hunt. The next thing you're going to need is your cup. That came in your camp kit too. It's just a little cup. It put some water in it. We didn't mention the water. That's just to wash your paintbrush out. And then I forgot the paper towel to dry your brush off so you don't get your paint all watery. And then the next thing you're going to need, and the label got peeled off, this is your sealant. A clear coat sealant spray. You will need an adult to help you with the sealant spray. And this absolutely has to be sprayed outside. Do not spray this inside. You may also need to wear a ventilation system to spray with this. Adult supervision needed, caregivers, permission, the whole 9 yards. This is not good. Don't do this inside. Outside stuff. Don't forget that for this craft, we need to cover our table. We also, if you notice, are wearing some old shirts. Although this isn't an old shirt yet. It's our camp shirt from this year. I haven't actually had a chance to tie-dye it, and because I'm wearing it, I gotta wash it again anyways. So I thought that this would be the perfect shirt, that if I get a little extra paint on it, then it'll just help with the design. But wear an old shirt or a smock. This is where your smock comes in from your scavenger hunt. Put your smock on, so that way, even though the paint may wash out, it's an old shirt and it doesn't matter, or a smock, so it doesn't matter as much. Now for our craft, when we're opening our paint set, do keep in mind that you may struggle to open the paint set, and that's why I opened it off camera, because I was struggling. So get a caregiver's help if you need to, and your paint may have separated a little bit, so you might need to use a toothpick to stir it. So this is very simple. You may think of a design, and I'll say it's Belle inspired. I may start painting a heart. So, paint on my rock. It's that simple. And then later, after we're done painting, I will show you how to finish your rocks with your sealant. So, when I'm done with this color, go ahead and wash my brush off. Wipe the extra back in the cup, and use your paper towel to wash your brush clean. And that way you won't contaminate the different colors of paint. Now, campers, are you ready to paint your rocks?
Yeah!
Awesome. And we're finished, at least with this part. Now the next thing you're gonna need to do is clean up this mess that you made inside. So make sure and close up paint. If you're using like acrylic paint with the palette, then make sure that you clean off your palette. And any other mess that you make sure when you dump your paint water out, that realize that there is some paint in this water, so you need to make sure and wash the sink out afterwards. You can actually stain the sink by dumping paint water in and not rinsing it out. So you'll have to come outside with us, because that's the next part of our video. We'll see you in a sec. Bye. So we're outside now, And I've got my spray, and now I know where the label is. It's inside. But I know that I'm supposed to shake this up really well. And again, I am an adult, believe it or not. And so I'm doing this. Chloe is standing near here, and she's down. She's not downwind of me or anything like that. The spray won't come in contact with her. Belle and Kitty are up on the deck away from the spray. So this is definitely an adult action. We are outside. Make sure it's not too hot or too cold. We're gonna go ahead and spray. Now these are not the same rocks you saw earlier. We happen to have other rocks that we had painted at our house, and we knew that we didn't want to wait for those to dry right now. So we're gonna spray these. And I selected this area because we're actually getting ready to take these bricks out. So this is an area that I can spray. If it was someplace where we weren't planning to take the rocks out, then I would lay some newspaper or even the tablecloth down outside. Do keep in mind though that if I spray the rock, it might stick to the paper. So just be careful what you're doing. And again, adult supervision, caregiver supervision, necessary, needed, and they probably need to be the one spraying, not you. So I'm gonna spray now. So I have gone on and sprayed one coat. Now I would need to flip these over and spray on all sides where there is paint. I may need a second coat. A second coat really is a good idea because otherwise it just comes all, the sealant even doesn't protect it. Now, later, we're gonna hide these rocks at Friendly Hollow. So you have to check out. We actually found a shell from last year that we put down. We'll show it in the slideshow, a little piece of the shell. Now, the shell we had used Sharpie instead of the paint, and we sealed it, but most of the paint is, or the Sharpie is worn off. I should say permanent marker. Most of the permanent marker has worn off of it. So you'll have to see. So have fun and make sure you get all the permission and you don't put your rock somewhere where they consider it not okay. And again, you can always give your kindness rock to a friend. We'll see you later. Bye.